This is CaringKind Live, our weekly live stream at 1 o'clock every Wednesday afternoon. It is in beautiful New York City. I'm coming at you live from our broadcast studios in my studio apartment in Queens. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm a little bit late today because we had a technical problem. My computer crashed, and so it was a mad dash to get here in time. So let me see if I am. I'm going to try and go live. And it's the Facebook isn't working, but that's okay. We're going to post this a little bit later on Facebook. But we're live on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We have a really great show for you today. We're going to be talking to the folks at Inspīr Carnegie Hill, which is very exciting. And it's a senior assisted living facility in Manhattan, New York City. And before we get to that conversation with Molly and Suzanne, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of CaringKind. If you are watching this as a rebroadcast, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out the live version on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube, and that will be great. And of course, follow us on all of our social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I think I got them all. And the more you like and follow and comment and subscribe, then the more you amplify our message. And the more you amplify our message, the more our message gets into the hands of the people who need us most. So that's it. So today is Wednesday, December 9th. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in a snowy New York City. And really, I'm just going to have one update before the interview. And that update is that our year-end campaign is happening right now. So if you are inspired to donate and support CaringKind and Alzheimer's and dementia caregiving, please consider supporting CaringKind. You can see our all of our links to our donation pages and our year-end program in the show description of this YouTube or Facebook posting. So please support CaringKind. Have a great holiday season. And without further ado, let's share my screen, and we'll go right into the conversation with the folks from Inspīr. So we're going to share that right now. And again, this is a pre-recorded video because these folks were not available at the time of this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So we're playing this. Oops, I did it wrong. You know me, I always press the wrong button. So we're going to do a Chrome tab, share audio. There we go. And here we go. And this is a pre-recorded video, so please, no comments, because this has been pre-recorded. Thank you very much, and off we go. Molly and Suzanne from Inspīr Carnegie Hill, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream today.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. I'm so interested, and I know that our followers are going to be interested to learn more about Inspīr Carnegie Hill. So why don't we start right at the top? Suzanne, why don't you start by introducing yourself, what you do, and where in the world are you right now?
Hi, yeah, so again, my name is Susanne, and I am at Inspīr Carnegie Hill in one of our beautiful studios on the 22nd floor. I am a social worker and a certified dementia practitioner. I am going to be, or I am, the director of our Oceana program. Oceana is Inspīr's memory care program, and I don't know if you know, but Inspīr is operated as part of the Maplewood Senior Living family, and I come from Maplewood, where I've been for 6 years before coming to the city to Inspīr, and first as a memory care director for about 3.5 years, and then after that as the executive director for one of the communities that Maplewood operates. And so I feel like I have a pretty good all-around experience in terms of being in an assisted living facility in a building in a community.
Great, welcome. Molly?
Hi, so I'm Molly Fisher. I am the Director of Program Innovation and Education here at Inspīr Carnegie Hill. And like Suzanne, I'm currently at Inspīr Carnegie Hill, also on our 22nd floor in one of our studios. And there's such great sunshine today. So you can't see all the way downtown, but this particular studio has great views of the Empire State Building. So one of my favorites to hang out in. So here at Inspire, I have the great pleasure each and every day of ensuring our residents have only the best experiences to ensure that their day lives each day with intention. So whether it's you want to participate in art programming, music programming, or get a ride to your favorite programming outside of the building, your every wish is my command here. To make sure that you stay engaged and connected, not only in our memory care, but also throughout the building, whether it's our enhanced care or our assisted living.
That's great.
I also do the education for all of the staff. I always forget. I also
education.
I'm in charge of all the training for all of the staff, as well as any educational programs for our residents and their families. So that's support groups, that's educational lectures, as well as, 100% of our staff are trained in best practices in dementia care.
Mm-hmm.
So I facilitate all that in services, continuing education, just a few things.
Just a few things. That sounds like you would be excellent in the nonprofit sector, because that's pretty much what all nonprofit staff say. They're like, I'm doing this, this, and this, and oh, by the way, I'm also spending 30 hours a week on these other things too. So I get that.
My entire background is nonprofit, so this is nothing. Yeah.
Jack of all trades. Yeah, different hats. What would you say is your you have a memory floor? Is that right on at Inspire Carnegie Hill?
So the building is a 24-story building, and we have 5 floors of memory care with we have 12 apartments on each floor, and a few of the apartments can be a shared apartment, so we can have up to 16 residents on each floor. So five floors of memory care with about up to between 12 and 16 residents. We call it a small home model because it is kind of small and contained. Residents will have their own apartments, their own studios, their own 1-bedrooms, their own 2-bedrooms, unless they decide to share. And we have kind of like a common area, dining room, activity space, living room for the residents to use when they're not in their apartments. And that's where we are going to provide experiences for them. Molly's team will come in and provide experiences, and the food can be eaten there. Will be brought up so residents can eat there, but they can of course also use any of our beautiful restaurants that we have in the building.
So it's really amazing, right? Because we have this specialized space for our folks in memory care in Oceana, which is wonderful. It allows for reduced distraction, all the things that we know our individuals who live with a dementia like Alzheimer's are going to thrive in. Mm-hmm. Because we do have, as Susanne mentioned, this 24-story building with a variety of amenity spaces, which includes outdoor spaces on our 17th floor, as well as our 2nd floor courtyard. Our residents will be able to use a variety of the amenity spaces, and they'll do so in that small group setting. And so it'll have that staff assistance to be able to do a group fitness class in our fitness center, to have a dinner in 1802, our fine dining restaurant, where it's all, kind of special and just a wonderful experience for them, just like any other resident in our building. So they won't just be secluded to these 5 floors.
Yeah. Now, I'm just trying to imagine it in my mind. Are all 5 floors like one on top of the other, or are they interspersed through the building?
No, they're all on top of each other. So our plan is definitely to have when Molly's team run their activities and their experiences that we provide for the residents, we're going to have 5 different experiences running at the same time throughout the day and evening. Mm-hmm. And so our residents will really be able to pick and choose based on their interests, which activity they want to participate in. And of course, we are going to assist with that because we will know a lot about them, and we'll know what things they enjoy, what hobbies they've had, what interests they have. And so we really have the opportunity to bring our residents to an activity that we think they will enjoy within those 5 floors, or as Molly said, with small groups, utilizing the building, whether it's dining in a restaurant, in a private dining room, visiting the Sky Park, the saltwater pool, the fitness center, the art room. I mean, we have so many different amazing spaces for our residents to enjoy.
That sounds amazing. And now my building suddenly doesn't seem that great, quite frankly. I would love to have a saltwater pool. That sounds amazing. Are the floors themselves outfitted differently in order to accommodate people with Alzheimer's and dementia, or is it really the same model on every floor, and it's really the people and the staff support that is really different?
So everything is pretty much the footprint of the floor is exactly the same. They are set up exactly the same. And I just from a perspective of memory care, I think that's great because the familiar is going to be really the environment is going to be really familiar to the residents, whether they participate in a activity on the 3rd floor or the 7th floor. The footprint is the same. It's furnished the same way. So to our residents that have a cognitive impairment, it's going to look exactly the same. The only thing that's going to be different is really the experiences that Molly and her team will be providing. It's going to be the same care that you receive on all the floors.
So one of the things we notice, and we wanted to ensure, here at Inspire, we really are looking to redefine how people consume aging services. And our best practices in dementia care, of course, we really want to be top notch. And so one of the things that we don't like seeing across the country, and all of us have seen this, I'm sure, is that, if you're living in assisted living and as you progress with a cognitive impairment like a dementia, you have to go to that other unit, right? And it's a different floor and there's such stigma around it and residents don't want to go there. And so throughout the building, whether you're in assisted living, in our enhanced or Oceana, as Susanne said, the footprint is the same, but the aesthetic is also the same. The only difference you're going to find between this 22nd floor apartment that I'm in right now and one of our apartments in Oceana is there's no kitchenette in the Oceana apartments because you have that beautiful large lounge with access to food and drink and snacks at any given time. And you don't have closets. We have these gorgeous white oak built-ins. As a New York City dweller, closets and storage space are, at a premium. And here at Inspire, we have a tremendous amount of storage space. So those are the only differences. And as Susanne mentioned, we have studios and 1-bedrooms available in Oceana. And so you have pretty much everything is looking exactly the same. We want to ensure that our residents, no matter if they have a cognitive impairment, a physical challenge, have the same experience. And so if we've got a book club happening in Seoul, which is our assisted living, we'll also have book club happening in Oceana. The experience team will simply add the adaptations needed. And so nothing's watered down. Nothing is different. We're really looking to reduce the stigma and create the environment that the individual has always lived in with the adaptations that they need.
And speaking of the adaptations that they need, for not only any older person who decides to go into assisted living, or someone who feels that they need to because they have a cognitive impairment, that transition can be stressful. Mm-hmm. So how do you acknowledge the stress and anxiety of someone coming into one of your floors, and how do you address that?
Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. So one of the things that we do here is a 360-degree assessment, even well before move-in. And of course, we reassess once they move in and as time goes on as needed, every 6 months or less if it's needed more. We also have an RN case manager. So what's really great about Inspire is we have 24/7 nursing here, always an RN on staff no matter what. And this RN care manager has the opportunity to really track an individual throughout the course of their time here at Inspire. So if you move into the assisted living and things change and you feel as though Oceana is a better fit for you, you've got that care manager who's going to ensure that they know everything about you, from what type of tea you like and the fact that you want honey in it, to you're a chocolate croissant person, not a regular croissant person. And we all have access to their electronic medical record as well, which will show their likes, their dislikes, so we can weave that in. Susanne and I, in our expertise in dementia care, have the opportunity to ensure that we're not just seeing this as a case or a client, but this is a human. And we want to ensure that this human, this person, gets everything and anything that they need, no matter which floor they live on. And so we're aware of the stress and anxiety that comes with change, whether it's a change for any of us listening, right now, moving apartments, that can be stressful. Moving jobs, that can be stressful. We understand the stress that comes with life, and we're going to ensure that we have all of the team aware of this and all of the skills that we have at our disposal to ensure that the person eases through this transition as best as we can. And then the experiences, the clinical care and the integrative care team also is going to be an asset to this. So whether it's utilizing something like aromatherapy to make sure that we start a little lavender oil on their pillow at home before they move here, and then we have lavender oil on their pillow here. That aromatherapy tie-in, by the way, is wonderful, and all of us can use that. So that I know that when I smell lavender, I'm in my bed, and then you're smelling lavender when you're in your bed here, and you know, I'm home, it's safe. So little tricks like that, we've got up our sleeves ready to go.
That's a good trick.
Yeah, and I think the whole perspective of delivering person-centered care, as Molly mentioned, this 360 assessment that really gives us the opportunity to get to know somebody, know their likes, know their dislikes, and to honor their goals and wishes, and to recognize that they are really, our residents are going to be the experts on their own health. And to really listen to how they want to live their lives moving forward, being here with us at Inspire, and really focus on their strengths and not on their weaknesses, and hopefully be able to provide them with wonderful experiences so that they can live lives with intention and purpose, and feel well taken care of. And I think we are really, really proud of the partnerships that we have in terms of being able to provide that top-notch care. We are partnering with Mount Sinai, and we are going to have one of their geriatricians in our building 2 days a week, and Dr. Davenport, and she can be somebody's private physician when she comes to visit, or not, depending on the resident's wishes. Also with our partnership with Namaste Wellness, who is going to be part of the care planning. Like Molly mentioned, you know, the aromatherapy, if somebody can benefit from meditation or Reiki or yoga, or, you know, any of those things that can help really maximize a sense of well-being and health.
So speaking of well-being, do you have, you know, in this work, especially with people who have Alzheimer's or dementia or a cognitive impairment of some kind, you know, when you offer expert caregiving, you know, great things can happen, right? It's not just about the reduction of stress and pain and anguish. It's also creating an opportunity for something joyful to happen. When you look back, and it doesn't have to be in the past 6 months, it can be throughout your career, but when you look back at your career and the work that you do, is there any moment that stands out? And this can be a question for either one of you. Like, what's a proud moment that you've had where you've seen the power of expert caregiving for someone who needs it? Does a person or moment stand out for you as a good example of what happens when you provide the right environment for someone?
I guess I can start, since I've worked in communities, and I mean, I think what really makes a big difference, and I don't know if I can point to one specific moment, because I feel there are so many of them, but I mean, I feel if you take the time to really listen to a resident and have that one-on-one time with them to try to understand what it is that makes them happy or makes them unhappy, and to work with them to really try to meet their needs and help them achieve their goals, but also to work with their families on the same thing, so you can build that trust, and so that residents can feel safe, and that they can go to bed every night feeling a sense of contentment and accomplishment. I think that's really kind of like what is important to me, at least personally, very.
So I think, you know, I've spent about the past 10 years of my career prior to Inspire traveling around the country and providing education for caregivers, for professionals, for families, for individuals living with this illness. And so to me, and, you know, totally going to geek out on being an educator here, education is so powerful. And I think there's nothing cooler than when I hear from a caregiver or family member being like, oh my gosh, this actually worked. Like, sure. You know, we hear this all the time. The caregivers on this call right now, I mean, I know that they're just like, I've heard this before, person-centered, blah, blah, blah. But when you actually integrate this and put this into practice, and here as a brand new building, we have this wonderful opportunity of starting out with the high bar up here, you know? And so we'll be able to provide this top-notch clinical education to paraprofessionals or home care workers who might just have an hour or two as per state regulations. When we show that we are investing in them, we want them to have all the tools in their arsenal, everything at their disposal. You know, we see them become more invested in their work, in the people that they're working with, and as a result, there's better care. To me, providing that understanding, providing just a little snippet to a family member, a caregiver, another professional, it's amazing. And then they're like, oh my gosh, this is actually not that caregiving is easy, because I don't want to minimize the challenges of caregiving. But sometimes it's just like tweaking one little thing, or, you know, changing the way that you set a table. And they're like, oh my gosh, everything's so much better in this moment. And it could change tomorrow, and obviously we provide the support. But that's one of the cool things that I've gotten to do in my job so far, and certainly a huge part of what I get to do day to day and what we all get to do every day here at Inspir.
Yeah, interesting. I think that's true. And I think that's what we see at CaringKind, right? Where our job is to support the caregiver. And training and education is a big part of that. And people really see the difference between before education and after education is night and day for a lot of caregivers, because they're like, oh, yes, and of course it makes sense to agree with something that's not technically correct, because you got to do that in order to occupy their world and reduce stress and anxiety. So yeah, that's absolutely true. Now, it's November of 2020. I got to ask you about COVID-19. How are you dealing with COVID-19, and what adjustments have you made in your, in the logistics and the education that you're doing in your building?
So one of the really, I mean, if you want to find a great thing or opportunity of COVID-19, I'll do it. I'll start with it. So we haven't opened yet. And what we've had the wonderful opportunity to do is, instead of, oh my gosh, crisis retrofitting, like so many of our partners, our friends, our properties at our Maplewood properties had to do, we've had the opportunity to take this time since March to really continue to build, or we built this building from the ground up. So we have everything that we could possibly need, from the filtration systems, from the safe distance accommodations that we've already seen done at Maplewood, at our partner, our Maplewood properties, in the 3 different states that they operate in. So we've had the opportunity to build this in. I've been doing virtual programming since March. So this is kind of all we know so far is virtual programming. So pivoting to the day-to-day in person is going to be a breeze in comparison. And so we've had this luxury, and again, I'll find a luxury during COVID-19, of being able to prepare to ensure that our building is, absolutely equipped for adequate safety, from a safe distance, from a filtration system, from just our protocols in terms of just checking somebody in. We've got this cool machine that takes your temperature. You just stand right up and it takes your temperature right when you come in, our visitor management system, all of that. We also are a smart building in terms of all the technology that we have. If we get into a quarantine situation again, I'll be able to have telehealth come through people's rooms through Temi robots. We have in-house channels where I can put programming live stream from another room within the building and bring it right to a resident's apartment. We have ways to ensure that families stay connected to their person and vice versa. And so we've really been able to thrive with this extra time to be able to ensure that everybody stays safe. And then once we do open our doors, we'll continue to follow the regulations set forth by the state, the Department of Health, to make sure that our residents and their families and our staff continue to stay safe.
Absolutely, and I think we really benefited from having Maplewood guide us in terms of not only the regulations but our own requirements in terms of safety. I mean, stronger together. Making sure that everybody follows appropriate procedures in terms of safety. Temperature, hand washing, masks, social distancing, all that stuff that we've heard so many times, and also, we have these plans in place for, if we do get a positive case, whether it's a staff or an associate or a resident, that we do have very tried, good and tried protocols in place to make sure that everybody remains safe. And we have, we have a COVID task force that we can call for, any questions that may arise. So I feel we're really well equipped to handle this.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing when you build up from the ground up, right? It is a luxury to be able to not even retrofit, but to design your space around something that is a lot harder for other people. So you are lucky in that sense. Yeah. Go ahead, Molly. You were saying something.
No, I was, we have. I'm able to find the luxuries, but we've used the time well, and that's something that we're really proud of.
And when do you open? When is the big day?
So, well, I mean, I'd love to bring all the residents in today. Our building is ready. We are eagerly awaiting, hopefully, to open our doors before the year is out. We are just waiting on that Department of Health right now. And so,
the DOH.
yeah, the Department of Health, we're excited they're back at work, and we hope to be seeing them very soon. And so as soon as we get that assessment finished, hopefully before the year is out, we'll be welcoming our residents. I know that they are eager to join us, and we are so eager to have them in this building.
So it sounds like I can use the saltwater pool before you open. That's what I'm hearing.
The water's not in yet, but you can come on down, and anybody really come on down and take a wonderful tour right now. We're here every single day, even on the weekends, providing private tours. While the pool's not ready yet, we can maybe have a few ready for you.
All right, I'll take a chocolate croissant. How about that?
We have lots of. Yeah, come on over.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready. We're so excited to have everyone come and see the beautiful space and meet our fantastic team.
Fantastic, and I can see the sun poking out behind your building, so you've got so much light. I'm so jealous. It's so good. We've got to wrap up in a second here, but any last thoughts about where you are? You're at 1812 Second Avenue, is that right?
1802. So we're on Second Avenue between 93rd and 94th. And yeah, you're hitting peak sun time here. We have floor to ceiling windows. Our goal is to bring the outside in, and there's really perfect light here all day long. So certainly we welcome everyone and anyone to come by for a safe, private tour of the building and to, as I said, meet our team and learn more about all that we have in store.
Right. And I will put all the links to phone numbers and websites in the show description of this video. So if you are watching this right now on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to just click that show description, and a link to learn more about Inspīr Carnegie Hill will be in that show description. Susanne, Molly, thank you so much for being guests today. Congratulations on the new building, and I can't wait to see it and get that chocolate croissant.
We'll have it waiting for you.
All right, thank you.
Great, thanks so much.
Hold on, there we go. And that was my conversation with Molly and Susanne at Inspīr Carnegie Hill. Please check out the show description for all the information that you need about their incredible facility. And again, I'm Chris Doucette. I am here every week for CaringKind Live, bringing you the news related to Alzheimer's and dementia caregiving on behalf of CaringKind. So until next time, thank you very much.